guy.
Total was pretty much the same.
Mm-hmm.
There was no hard sell. It was cut and dry, simple, and mom was mom was all over it. She liked Coach James.
Who was the best athlete, in your opinion, that you've played ball with at the University of Washington?
I would probably say Mark Lee. Mark Lee was fast, agile, and was just tough to beat one-on-one.
So you went against him in practice.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the receivers pick out a DB. Another receiver said Horton. Most of the defensive
Horton
backs
was
pick
tough
out a
too.
receiver because
Right.
we went against each other.
Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm. Always the man across from you. Always.
Favorite all-time coach? Pee Wee, high school, junior high, Huskies.
My track coach in high school.
What's his name?
Coach Jim Dolly. He's
still with us?
Yes, still with us. Having some health issues, but he was awesome. Just an awesome guy. Keep in contact to this day. Most of the track athletes, the guys that he's coached, keep in touch with him. We have a network, and he's just an awesome guy.
What is your least favorite word?
Least favorite word would probably be hate.
What turns you on?
What turns me on was was the kids. You know, watching them do their thing in sports and loving the game, loving what sports brought was the biggest joy of my life.
What turns you off?
Rude people.
What sound or noise do you love?
The bass guitar. I love that thump.
What sound or noise do you hate?
That's interesting.
We'll come back to it.
Okay.
What profession, other than your own, would you like to attempt?
Being a carpenter, building a house or something like that from the ground up, that'd be cool. I could see being a carpenter, doing stuff with your hands, building, creating.
If heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say when you arrive at the pearly gates?
You were a good person. Yeah.
Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
And thank you for joining us from the heart of Seattle, Washington. Aaron Williams and Jimmy Rogers.
Appreciate it.
Nice job.
Thank you. Cool.
He's awesome.
You guys did great.
I try.
Yeah.
No, that's
It's
fabulous.
it's hard, but I try.
It's hard to be humble.
Well, it's hard to open up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
you
you
know.
did.
And he does much better than he actually admits that he does.
That's
He doesn't
usually the
give himself
case.
credit.
That's usually the case, and most people don't like the way they look on camera.
Yeah.
And most people can't stand the way they sound.
Mhm.
That's my voice.
I don't have a problem with any of that. I just don't like talking.
But you wouldn't be able to tell that.
I don't. To be totally honest, I don't. And I'm not a big people person either.
Well, you had some good years.
I had some fun years. Man, we had a ball.
Yeah.
We really had a ball, and what we accomplished in the well, for me, 5 years that we were there was just incredible. To be totally honest, it was incredible because UW hadn't had that type of success. You know, they're sure they've been to a Rose Bowl here and there, but you know, consistently on top every year.
We should have had 4.
We should have, you know. And Anthony still,
Three's a dynasty.
Yeah.
What were you saying? I'm sorry.
Anthony still says that field goal at the at Wazoo was good.
Good,
He still says it's good, and they dogged us there. But yeah, we accomplished a lot.
Yeah, I think when you're on the road, you have to win by a lot.
Yeah,
You have to expect to not get the calls.
right.
But if you win 3 in a row, that's a dynasty, and nobody's done it but USC. 3 Rose Bowls in a row.
Right, right.
Did you watch our Orange Bowl?
Heck yeah.
Yeah. Do you remember where you were?
The apartment.
You do.
We were on 15th, 15th and 52nd, was it?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
You had a handful of guys that you played with that you tutored, or you were seniors when they were freshmen.
Right. Yeah.
And you must have been cheering them on.
Oh, the program. That was awesome to go down there and play against OU. You know, we were Washington. Nobody gave us any respect. So for us to go down there and beat up on a national known entity, it was awesome. You guys did it.
Thank
You
you.
guys did
Thank you.
it. I was so, to be a UW former player, just,
And it was such a typical Don James because they were talking smack for weeks, and we just kept saying how great they were. And we were big underdogs, by the way. And you know, Don comes in. I think a lot of times he keeps the book closed, the playbook, until that bowl game. And then he opened it up and completely changed the offense, traps and reverse passes.
yeah. That's what he did in the Rose Bowl.
Yeah.
That's what he did in the Rose Bowl, because, you know, those 2 weeks down in LA when you're practicing, it's like, how come we didn't do this all year? You know? We were just throwing the ball around, and it was like, okay. Yeah. Coach was awesome.
Yep.
He could coach. He could coach his ass off.
He said in his book that he knew at one point that he was smarter than the rest of them. Not to be arrogant, but he had had enough experience and been from Ohio State, Michigan, with Bo, with Woody, with all those other coaches. And then when he came to Washington, he's like, my time.
And he did it.
Yeah,
he
sure
did it
did.
his way. That's for sure. How you doing over there?
That's a wrap.
I'm just messing with my app as I was listening. I mean, different apps.
Okay.
So, I don't want to distract you guys, so I decided not to be a focal point.
Okay.
How's Kason doing?
Cason's doing awesome. He's engaged and he's about to get married.
Is that right?
Yeah, he got engaged
About a month ago?
about a month ago, and they're getting married in July.
Oh, wow.
And by this
He must
time
know.
next year,
How old
he
is he?
wants to have little kids running around.
Absolutely.
But he is 30. He's 32.
And is he living in locally or?
Right down
Right down
Oh,
the
is that
street.
right?
He's on the other side of 90,
Lake Union.
Lake Union, overlooking Lake Union there. He's got an apartment.
The other side, oh, so he's on West Lake Union or North Lake Union?
I think it's what? He's down there by the Google and all that. He's all
That's
by
North
the tech
Lake
stuff.
Union.
No.
Okay.
Oh, wait, they got a lot of stuff on South Lake Union too.
South, he's
On this
south.
side Lake Union or?
This side of Lake Union.
this
Yeah,
side.
this.
That's a great area.
Oh, he loves it.
I used to live there. I absolutely loved it. And
Yeah.
I sold my place because I got bored.
Oh.
And I had this view and of the lake and everything, and I got bored. And I sold for like $250 or something. It's worth like 1.5.
Right.
Took off to LA, and
Wow.
then I got the travel bug.
To be young again,
Yeah.
right? Young and dumb, right? If we could do it all over again,
I
right?
don't know. Do you have any major regrets? Whether it's
That I didn't work at it,
yeah,
you know.
That's what I picked
But
up
other than that, no. Because the U was where I wanted to go. I wanted to be close to home. Did it all work out for me? No. But the memories and the friendships I have from going there. No, no. Like I was young and dumb.
So in high school, did you play with Scotty Fawcett, or not Scotty, but Brian Stone, Darren Witcher,
All those guys.
Kenny Driscoll?
Kenny and I played Little League Baseball together. Brian and I and Darren went to middle school together. Then Brian and Darren went to Foss. I went to Wilson. I played with Vince Kobe.
Okay.
And Phil Carter, remember Phil Carter, who
went to Notre Dame.
went to Notre
I
Dame?
met Notre Dame.
Yeah, he was a
happy.
teammate of mine. And yeah, no,
I mean, he wasn't happy he was at Notre Dame.
Right.
That's where I saw him
Uh-huh.
on a recruiting trip.
Okay.
And he was like, he didn't say anything, but that's the guy I wanted to check with between Washington and Notre Dame.
Mm-hmm.
He kind of looked at me and don't come here.
Okay, yeah.
So I think he maybe wishes he
was-
went to Washington.
Yeah, we tried hard to.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he would have been perfect too. The timing would have been perfect for him too.
You
And
stay in touch with him?
not as much. Not as much. We get together with Coach Dolly.
Okay.
You know, because he's one of those
So
guys.
he brings it all together.
Mm-hmm.
He's the glue.
Yeah, he really is. He really is.
And you're at that right age when you met that coach. You're probably 17, 16, 17.
Yep. And he taught me everything I knew about, getting it in and getting it done. Yeah. He was awesome. He was a good mentor. He really was. So yeah, and then so Brian, Kenny, and Darren, Vince, and Phil, we all went to school together, middle school or high school together. And then we were rivals. I was rivals with Kenny because he was at Mount Tahoma, and Ray. Never went to school with Ray, but played against him.
Okay.
And who else was from Tacoma?
You said Brian Stone, Darren, Kenny. You said Vince.
Vince Kobe.
Vince Kobe was a year or two older.
A year older.
Okay.
Fletcher went out. He was in the suburbs. He was at Lake, so I'd never.
Okay.
We were just at the downtown boys club together, but we never really went to school together until we got.
How's Fletcher doing?
I haven't talked to Fletch in a while, actually. Last time I talked to Fletch was it the spring game with DeBoer? DeBoer? I think that was the last
it's funny,
time.
you don't see some of these guys for 10, 20, 30 years,
Mm-hmm.
and you're a little bit nervous, you're not quite sure what to say.
Right.
Within 10 seconds, you pick up right where you left off.
Right where you left off, exactly, yeah. So, yeah, Tacoma had a pretty big contingency up at the U there, and Stafford, he's at O'Day.
Okay.
He's
Right.
coaching defensive line at O'Day with Coach Al, because Coach Al is
Oh, he's with Coach Al.
still getting it. He's
Can't stop.
coach for life. Coach for life.
I
So
interviewed him and he went right into coach mode. It was fantastic.
he's always in
Exactly.
coach mode.
There is a hole, Jimmy. There's a hole. And I'm like, I'm ready to run, I'm ready to find the hole.
Yeah, that's Coach Al.
He was my favorite college coach. Mm-hmm. I mean, my high school coach was the best, obviously. Junior high coach, awesome too. But Coach Robin, I only had him because I was a kicker. And so he was the kicking coach.
Right.
Not the kickoff team, just the kicker.
Mm-hmm.
And he was just fun, man. And he had the boxing skills. And the one thing about him, he didn't have to demand discipline or respect. He had it.
Mm-hmm.
And he's one of the few coaches that could kick most any player's ass at the same
Yeah, he
time,
was.
right?
And would challenge you too.
Yeah.
Didn't have no problem challenging you. That was what was so funny about Coach Al. He'd get down there and horse around with you.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah,
He's probably the only one that I really talked to.
yeah. He used to do the smokers, the fights on Fridays. And
Yeah.
Mr. Stover would tell me. Remember Alan?
Oh, yeah.
Alan said he couldn't wait for Al. He'd be waiting in his office. Al would come by and say, "Hey, I need a ring man." And Alan said he couldn't wait. It was so much fun. Watch Al go downtown and kick somebody's ass.
Oh, man. We went and watched them. We went and watched them, Anthony and I.
And when you were in college?
And yeah.
How was it?
It was funny. Because his face just changed. It was like, who is that guy? You know, when he got into the
Benny
ring.
Muller.
Yeah.
He's ready to kill.
Oh, the look. Remember Mike Tyson would have that look? Al had that look, and it's like, this isn't that serious, you know?
I guess if you can get punched,
Right?
you better get serious.
Oh man, he looked so menacing. It was like, I don't know him. And then he came out and it was like he was getting paid to do this. He was
How'd the fight turn out?
It was a Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
It was, a few seconds. Because the guy, I mean, he wasn't that serious about the other guy. And he got hit a couple times and he was like, oh no, I'm done, right? Because he wasn't, I'm just here for fun,
Mm-hmm.
And Al came out and hit him 3 or 4 times, and one to the midsection, one to the head, and then, a few seconds later, it was like, no, I'm done. And it was over.
Yeah.
And Anthony and I just looked at each other and started laughing. It was so funny. Oh, wow.
Did you you went to the St. Louis camp in the NFL? Did you go to other teams after that?
The NFL was, St. Louis was the only team I tried out for. And I tried out for the
USFL?
USFL.
Portland? Or?
No, it was the Colorado team.
Okay.
And they traded me to the Oakland Invaders midway in camp. And then I don't know what happened. I was doing real well. But when it came to cut day, I got cut. I was like, huh, okay.
You left? They gave
Yeah,
you a plane ticket?
Gave me a plane ticket, went back home, and then after that I went up to Canada.
Edmonton?
And Hamilton.
Okay.
And that was just a weird situation. Because there's one guy, they had this one receiver that I was with in St. Louis. And he was a starter on the team. And I was like, oh, I got this because I know I'm better than him. And he got cut 2 weeks after we got into camp at St. Louis.
Early.
So I should at least be ahead of him, and he's a starter. But that was just interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was at Edmonton. That was my last stop.
Oh, was it?
And the locker room, it doesn't look like a football team.
No, it didn't.
Right?
It didn't.
And so the offensive linemen are all Canadians. Did you know that?
Mm-hmm.
So these guys were not very fit. They didn't look like football players. And I'm just sitting in the locker room going, what happened? Where am I? What happened to my career? How did I get here?
Right.
And I'm just scanning the locker room, and all of a sudden, over in the far corner, there's Fletcher laughing. He knew what I was thinking. So we hung out for a couple days. And I think I ran a 4.8 5:40. Just, it was 20 below.
Oh, my.
I'm like, you want to run the 40 outside?
I know.
And
I pulled.
after I said, what was that? I did the 40 yards, and I acted like I needed a parachute to stop, so I went another 20. And then on the way back, they had the accent. the coach said, something, 5. And I said, oh, probably 4 or 5. Probably my best. Why not? My
Right.
knee's messed up. It's 20 below.
Right.
I never broke 4.6. I might have just done it. What was that again? 4 something 5. Yeah, maybe 4.65. I'm thinking. And I got up close to him. I said, I didn't hear you, coach. He said 4.85. And I said, thank you for the tryout. And I went and partied. And I went to the airport. And they said he cut himself. He cut himself.
Oh, wow.
Mental.
Oh, I hear you. Yeah, yeah. Canada was interesting.
Yeah.
It was.
And then with the USFL, it was like you can either be a free agent or go to the 10th round. I think it was the Portland Breakers. I was like, hell no. I'm going to the NFL.
Right.
Right? I had it going on.
Right.
I'm gonna go
Right.
I'm not going to make it. Why should I go someplace where I get a paycheck?
Oh,
And then when
wow.
they cut me, the last place, San Diego, cut me, and they said, you need to see the receptionist. And I said, yeah. And she says, where would you like your airplane ticket? And I said, Hawaii. And he said, well, no, it's either Seattle. It's either Seattle or Oregon. I said, what? What's the matter with you?
Right.
I didn't get my signing bonus. I said, okay, Seattle, can I have my signing bonus? You didn't pass the physical.
Oh.
I said, oh, and I borrowed against it, of course. Life just kept getting better. Yeah, it's laughable.
Oh. To be young and dumb,
Oh,
right?
yeah, it was Don Coryell at the Chargers, and he goes, I ran a 4.66 on grass, and I was on steroids, right? At that point, because I was so beat up, I was taking Anavar,
Okay.
the pill form. And I was, the bench press, I did 370 twice.
Did you?
I could have done 500. I thought I better stop. They're going to catch on. They're going to 190 and I'm doing 370 and it was nothing. And then I ran the 4.66 on grass. And they said, Coryell says, the following people need to see the trainer. And they said, Jimmy Rogers. I said, damn, there's 2 Jimmy Rogers on this team. I know they're not cutting me. I just ran a 4.66 and benched 370 twice.
Right.
No, and I didn't go. I went back to the hotel and got some vodka and some ice. Somebody said, hey, they're looking for you. And I said,
Why?
no, there's not 2 Jimmy Rogers. They wanted to talk to me. That's just laughable.
Oh.
There to Canada. Thank you for the tryout.
Right.
I just cut myself.
Right. Oh, wow.
No paperwork needed.
Oh, man. Yeah, the stories are awesome. Boy, we lived a life, didn't
Well,
we?
I haven't told that story ever. That is pretty funny. I got myself laughing.
Oh, wow. Oh. Well, you ready for some breakfast?
Yes, I
Okay. All righty.